Hey, so I've placed a lot of rules on myself this year, like reading rules. Most of them are around purchasing books, but one of them is I'm trying to read the books as soon as they arrive at my house so that my physical TBR doesn't grow because I'm trying to finish it. So I have a package and I thought that I would start off with reading whatever books are inevitably in this package. Interesting flex. Okay. So these are actually my November and December Afterlight books. They migrated their website and it caused an error in my address and it got returned back to shipper. So I missed out on these boxes. This was the November one. It's Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. This book is so pretty. Wow. And then this is the December book, which is I Did Something Bad by Faye Mo Tetwar. Also a very pretty edition. And I think I'll start with this one because I was looking up the premise of this book and it just sounds so interesting. So basically Kin is a journalist for Vogue in Singapore, and she gets the opportunity of a lifetime to basically interview and like shadow this movie star named Tyler Toon. And so she and Tyler Toon find themselves on set one day and some guy like targets one of them, and Tyler and her find themselves hiding an unalive bunny. And in the process of this, they fall in love. I don't usually find rom-coms funny, so I'm really hoping that the added like mystery, like we're hiding something aspect will really make this one stand apart, and really can't wait to get into it. So scratch that plan. I ended up reading virtually nothing of I Did Something Bad. I had the like Libby book on my Kindle and then it just expired and disappeared while I was reading it, which is rude. But I have the physical book, so it's fine. Either way, I was cleaning, I drove to PT, I had physical therapy, and then I went and like sat down and had dinner by myself. Girl dinner. And throughout all of that, I decided to pick up the audiobook for The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. Look at how pretty this book is. This book is marketed as The House in the Cerulean Sea meets Legends and Lattes, which goes to show that this is not a book written for me because I did not enjoy like the Legends and Lattes type of book, and this has proven to be exactly that. Like the kind of listing of mundane tasks type of writing, you know what I mean? It's just boring, I feel. It's very like low stakes. There's not a lot going on. She has a crush on this guy, but the synopsis of this book, which basically says that Aaliyah is she's a phoenix keeper, and she works at this zoo where there's like different magical animals, unicorns, dragons, kelpies, whatever. She's in charge of like some of the birds, and particularly the phoenix, which is about to be like extinct. And she's trying to like restart a 10-year-old breeding program that they had at the zoo. And while she's doing that, she kind of has a crush on this dude who's like the dragon guy. And he gives very sketch vibes straight from the beginning. Like, I'm just waiting for this dude's fatal flaw. Like, what is it? It just doesn't give that she's going to fall in love with him, even though this author feels like they're trying to convince me so hard that she is. But I already know who the love interest is gonna be, because the synopsis says that this is an LGBTQ plus book. That being said, I did make it pretty far. Like, it seems like it's a pretty like quick and easy read. The font is very large. Let me find yeah, the font is pretty large. The chapters are pretty long, though. That's the only like one criticism that I have. I abhor books with long chapters. So I'm going to try to get as far as possible into this book today, and then I will pick up I Did Something Bad again, because tomorrow I go back to work, so I'll have the train ride, and with this I could kind of get like my laundry folded and finish cleaning up the house and doing my chores. This definitely cannot be more than 3 stars, just because of the like type of book that it is. It's just not for me. It's definitely not giving the house in a cerulean sea. Like, that's one of my favorite books of all time. And no, like, it's just no. I'm offended that you would make that comparison. Buenos dias. It is Target Tuesday. Actually, it is Target Tuesday. I work at a school and we're doing like an underground Spirit Week. So basically the kids don't know about it, so they're gonna be surprised. And today's the first day. It's Target Tuesday. We're supposed to dress like we work at Target, so khakis and a red shirt. I think they're gonna love it. They're gonna be like, what is going on here? I cannot wait. Anyways, I just want to give you a little update. I've been reading The Phoenix Keeper, and I honestly don't even have like anything really to say about this book. I feel like if I wasn't listening to the audio, I don't think I would be able to get through the book, just because it's just really like not my type of book. I think right now, depending on how it ends, it can't really be more than a 3-star, but it could be 2.5. Again, it's not like the book. It seems pretty well written. There's no like plot holes. Like, it's not like I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I can't get through this. Although I probably would feel that way if I was reading it physically. So right now I'm sitting at like maybe like a 2.5. Curious to see if any like action picks up a little bit, especially because in the dust jacket it says that there is a threat of like poachers coming to get the Phoenix. Even though I feel like I've already seen that part of the plot play out, but I'm hoping that like something will actually happen. I feel like this, I've predicted pretty much, like, I wouldn't say I predicted exactly what was going to happen, but I was pretty sure about something, and I was right. It played out differently than I thought it was going to be, but I was still right. So we'll see. Probably the next update, I'll be done with this, fingers crossed. And we can move on to I Did Something Bad. So here's the thing. We started out. These intrusive songs that are in my brain. What's wrong with me? I finished The Phoenix Keeper. I'm giving this 2.5 stars. I was sitting down and thinking about like what significantly do I even like have to say about this book, and the truth is nothing. I came to the realization that all of the problems in this book are literally problems that this character made up inside her head. Like, she just like has serious insecurity issues, and I find that kind of intolerable and annoying. Except for the ending. Towards the end, we do get like an actual problem, but for the most part, they're all like things that she just made up in her head, which is so odd to me. So I can't get down with this. I will say, in terms of like the writing style, I do like that like even when this author like writes metaphors, for example, she uses like descriptions about some of like the fantastical creatures in the book, and that does kind of help like put you into like the mindset, but also like get to know some of these like magical creatures a little bit more. So I will say I did really enjoy that aspect of the writing of this book. Okay, that being said, on the bus ride home, I picked up I Did Something Bad by Faye Motetoir, and I read a little bit more into this book, and I think I will see the rest of it through before I move on to something else. Fingers crossed. I tried to get the audiobook because I feel like this would be a good audiobook experience, but also I feel like I just read an audiobook, so maybe I should just not be lazy. Anyways, I'm not 100% convinced about why they chose to cover up the murder. Can you say that word on the internet nowadays? I get like the point that the author was trying to make and some of the perspectives that she has. Very valid point. However, I just felt like, is that enough to want to cover up a murder? Maybe, but I would have wanted like a little bit more to really sell it to me. Besides that though, I'm just curious to see where this will take me. I've already had a moment where I kind of just like chuckled to myself. So I'm hoping that this will finally be a book that makes me laugh, because I don't know if it's like I'm the ice queen or what, but like I don't laugh out loud and I don't cry usually when I read books. And that makes me sad because I want to have big emotions. Fingers crossed. You're me of 2 days later here. I'm here to tell you that in this little space in my ear, right at the top where you insert your headphones, I'm growing a pimple. And not to be dramatic, but this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It hurts so bad. Do not recommend. 0 out of 10. Feelings about acne aside, I have not read a single page since last time I updated y'all. Not a one. And it's been 2 days, yesterday and all of today. It's about to be Friday. As a matter of fact, I haven't read a single chapter like physically all week. I don't think. I started off with I Did Something Bad at the beginning of the week, stopped reading it because I want to listen to The Phoenix Keeper. Haven't physically picked anything up since. And that was on like Monday, and in an hour it's gonna be Friday. This is truly saddening. And the crazy thing is, like, not even the thought of reading Onyx Storm is making me excited, and I waited a whole year for that book. I'm so not excited that, so essentially I pre-ordered this book like a year ago before it even had a name, and Amazon doesn't charge your card until they're about to ship it. So when I went to go charge my card, it was expired. So I didn't get to resolve that until I woke up the next day and saw it, changed the card, but now I wasn't receiving my book on release day. And I was really frustrated about that. It was coming the next day though, and then the next day there was like a delay, and so then they're like, it's not coming until Thursday now, the 23rd, which is today. It arrived today and it is still sitting in the box. Like, I was truly stressed and emotionally distraught about not having this book for the last 2 days. And then I've had it for like 4 hours and still haven't taken it out of the box. That is how deep into this reading slump I am right now. It's so bad. And like, on top of that, I really was expecting like, I'm going to get this book on Tuesday and I'm going to be done reading it by Thursday. And then y'all are going to have an Onyx Storm reading vlog by Friday. So now this totally ruined my entire upload schedule. And yesterday I was like, well, let me press myself to finish I Did Something Bad. And then today I'll press myself to finish some other book so I can have at least 3 books to like post in a vlog for you guys. But honestly, like, I just have no desire to read anything right now. And it's not even, I don't think that this reading slump is related to like being like tired of reading. If I'm being honest, I feel like I'm feeling a little bit burnt out with life. like my job has been so intense lately and just like so much work that I've been coming home and basically like eating and going to sleep right away. In like a 15, like I'm spending like 15 minutes awake. And then this morning I woke up at like 3 a.m. to like do the other half of my hair because I was so tired that I only did half of my hair. One side was curly and one side was straight, and I just couldn't be bothered to continue. So I went to bed, and then in the morning I was like, I should probably do something about this so I don't look crazy when I get to work. People are going to be concerned. So that's been life lately. I just don't know. It just doesn't feel very manageable right now. Also, I've been having a lot of like health issues too. So that contributes. This week has been better than last week. But I think just like falling behind so much at work last week because of like doctor's appointments and things like that just kind of caught up to me this week. I also think like maybe I was feeling this way last week. Am I the only one? Like sometimes you don't realize like how bad you're feeling until like a little bit later when you're just like, whoa, like this is all like coming to a head right now. That's kind of like what I feel like last week. I was feeling like very overwhelmed, but I just like wasn't aware that I was feeling overwhelmed. I was just kind of like going through the motions and just like trying to get by. And this week I'm like, literally, I cannot make it by. It's just not happening right now. This is a mess. Anyways, with saying all of that, I just don't think that I have it in me to force myself to read a book. Especially like I feel like this book is going to be like a 3-star book. 3-star in my rating system is like this was a decent and like good book, but not like a great book. I also haven't had a single 5-star read yet this year. I mean, granted, it just started. It's like the first month of the year, but everything I've read have been pretty like not those 5 stars, I want to kick my feet, I want to scream feelings. Then again, I haven't really gotten like anything new that I'm like really excited about, except for Onyx Storm, but we already discussed how I feel about that. I'm kind of really trying to read my backlist, and in a way, a lot of these books have been on my shelf because I wasn't excited to read them. It's also making me reconsider book subscription boxes just because you don't really have a choice in like what you receive. And so naturally, I'm getting books that I didn't get to like say like, oh, I'm so excited about reading this. And those are the books that are tending to kind of sit on my shelf for a really long time. And I had to kind of push myself to read those books or like get through them, like The Phoenix Keeper, because I impose these crazy rules on myself. For example, I've gotten it in my head that I cannot keep a book unless I've read it. Like eventually I would like my entire library to be all the books I've like read and loved, or read and I love the cover and get rid of it. I don't, at least right now where I am in my reading journey, I don't want the large like 195 unread book TBR. I don't know. I'm trying to get my TBR down to 0. Like I just want to like make that accomplishment and then we can go back to having the excessive unread. But like I just am so hyper fixated on that goal. You know what I mean? That being said, like how am I going to get to that goal if I'm in a reading slump and I can't read anything? I don't know, Charlie. It's a problem for another day. I'm here to tell you that if you are not in the mood to read, don't force it. It's meant to be fun. And it's not fun when you're forcing yourself to do something, even when it's like something that you enjoy. You know what I mean? And I'm really surprised too, because normally I feel like reading is like my escape and like I can like dissociate and go into a different world and forget about my problems. But I will say that reading does take like brain power. You do have to kind of sit there and think about the events, think about how they connect with each other, understand like character traits and how that's like affecting the events and things like that. You have to like literally read these words and process them in your mind and like visualize what's going on. And I just don't have the capacity to do that. I just want to lay in my bed and stare at the wall, honestly. Like I don't even think I'm watching or consuming TV. Like I haven't had any interest in YouTube videos. Wow, this is getting more and more alarming as we go. I took all of Saturday where I've refused to make any plans. I've refused to leave my house. I'm just gonna sit here and rot in the best way possible. And I don't know, make a plan for how to just feel a little bit better. So we're working on it. And that's all I have to say. I think because I'm not going to force myself to read anything, we're going to end the vlog here. But hopefully y'all still enjoyed it. I don't know. Thank you for watching. Consider hitting that like button if you feel sympathy for my reading slump. If you want to join the family, hit that subscribe button. If you made it this far, leave me a comment. How do you get out of reading slumps? Thank you for watching. I will see you all when I see you next. Bye.